The Consumer Product Safety Commission announced that there have been 7 investigations of children inhaling or swallowing a Mattel toy missile from their Battlestar Galactica action figure line. Mattel quickly put warning label stickers on all of their current Battlestar Galactica toy ships in their inventory. On Christmas morning, 4-year-old Jeffrey Warren was playing with his Battlestar Galactica Colonial Viper when he placed the nose of the ship into his mouth, which caused the small red missile to launch and get stuck in his throat. Jeffrey was rushed to the hospital, but he had already lost too much oxygen to the brain. Jeffrey Warren passed away 6 days later at the age of 4. The death certificate issued for Jeffrey Warren listed he was choked after putting a Star Wars toy in his mouth. Eight-year-old Eric Carlson was playing with his new Colonial Viper, acting like his mouth was a cave when he decided to fire the ship's missile into his mouth. His parents heard him choking in the next room and issued first aid on the child. Eric was rushed to the local hospital, but x-rays showed nothing. Eric was sent home where he was still complaining about having chest pains. After a few days back home, he started to run a high fever. Taking Eric back to the hospital, his parents were told that he had the flu and he was sent back home. For the next 2 days, Eric would hardly be able to eat and the fever would come and go. On January 3rd, an x-ray showed that the small toy missile was stuck in Eric's left lung and had to be removed. Eric's parents said they were not even aware that the toy spaceship even shot out a missile. As news of the death of Jeffrey Warren spread across media outlets and how the Consumer Product Safety Commission had just weeks earlier warned of the dangers of the missile, Mattel issued a recall on all the missiles, asking parents to send the small red missile back to Mattel. In exchange, they would get a free Hot Wheel toy car. 4 different Battlestar Galactica ships was part of the recall: the Colonial Viper, the Scarab, the Stealth Probe, and the Cylon Rider. Mattel also announced that further production of these ships would no longer be able to launch the missiles. Kenner was gearing up to show off their new Boba Fett action figure in February 1979 at Toy Fair. An action figure with a small spring-loaded missile that had been promised to kids for months as part of a mail-away offer. However, the figure could never pass Kenner's own safety tests being done long before the death of Jeffrey Warren and even before the December 8th announcement from the Consumer Product Safety Commission. The L-slot Boba Fett figure failed to pass Kenner's safety test as it was too easy to misfire. Kenner's design team redid the figure to solve the problem. The J-slot was designed to lock the firing pin in place, making the user have to push the pin in and down before releasing the missile. But once again, the design wouldn't pass Kenner's safety test as the small plastic that held the button in place was weak and easy to break off. After hearing reports of Robert Jeffrey Warren's death and having their own issues with safety, Kenner's president, a mere 4 weeks before the 1979 Toy Fair, told designers to cancel the plans to have the rocket firing off of Boba Fett, and they would need to have a non-firing Boba Fett ready to debut at Toy Fair. The myth that Kenner shipped out a handful of Boba Fetts with the launching missile is nothing more than an urban myth, as the figure never passed Kenner's safety test and was canceled long before any figure was shipped or even produced. Kenner did ship out the Boba Fett action figure in early 1979 with a letter explaining to kids the removal of the firing rocket.
Hey, Junkman channel popping though.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.